So the Honorable Defence Minister has very forcefully said that he is determined to go to the truth of the matter and that he's tried all possible methods of finding out the truth. So I have no any reason to doubt the bona fides of the Honorable Defence Minister. But in the subtext of what he has said, there is a sense of helplessness. The sense of helplessness is, I have tried with the British, I have tried with the Italians, and they have told me that it's a secret matter, we are not going to cooperate with you. And in the absence for the last 1 year of a non-cooperation by them, there's nothing I can do. And therefore, my sign of bona fide is that I am willing to refer it to the JPC. Or as soon as I get the details from there, I am then willing to take the concerned people to task for it. Sir, let's now dissect the statement and read between the lines. It's a strange case that there is a bribe giver whose identity is known, who has been arrested. There is a transaction, the details of which are known. The quantum of the bribe is also known. The only curious fact is that the identity of the bribe taker is not known to us. The bribe taker is not the middleman who facilitated the transaction. Middlemen only get commissions. They are brokers. The bribe takers are those who swing the decisions, who either play a crucial role in making sure that an order is placed on a certain factor. From the statements which Mr. Prakash Javadekar referred to, where references are made to my boss in India and money is being paid to some entities, I have not the least doubt it's a transaction where the government of India places an order. The bribe taker cannot be sitting elsewhere. The monies which have been paid as bribes have been masked. They have been masked through alternative transactions. Through Tunisia and Mauritius, those monies have traveled back into India. And therefore, to identify the bribe taker, it is neither the job of the British Prime Minister nor the Italian court. The bribe taker is in our jurisdiction. It is your responsibility, Mr. Defence Minister, to identify who the bribe taker is. Therefore, please, in this entire statement, don't pass the buck on to the Italians and say, I am helpless because the Italians are not cooperating with me. I will now tell you from your entire statement where you have gone wrong. If the Indian Express informed you on 24th of February 2012 that this is a transaction where bribes have been paid, how do you get the details of a transaction? You get the details of a transaction not merely by writing a letter. Those who commit these crimes are no angels that they will immediately tell their government, we are willing to tell you the truth. Immediately on the 24th of February 2012, you had to register the first step in a criminal case, and the first step in a criminal case is register an FIR. You don't register an FIR. The principle of international cooperation is that two conditions have to be satisfied. No country cooperates with you till those two conditions are satisfied. One, that there must be a case under investigation in India. Two, that it must operate on the principle of dual criminality, that it is an offense in our country, it is an offense in the cooperating country. Obviously, bribery is an offense in both jurisdictions. So So you had to register an offense in India by writing administrative letters to your ambassador, and he is making diplomatic requests. You don't get the details. What would you have done? From 24th February till today, the government of India does nothing. You waited for 365 days till 24th of February 2013 before registering a preliminary inquiry. Now let me tell you the difficulty. If the bribe taker is in India, till 2 days ago you didn't even have a preliminary inquiry. Can you arrest the people? Can you search premises? Can you interrogate people? Can you extradite people? You can never do it till you have a case under investigation. Even in the preliminary inquiry, if the CBI today wants, it cannot arrest a man, it cannot extradite anyone, it cannot move for extradition, it cannot interrogate anyone, it cannot search any premises. So if there are some Indian accused or Indian persons being investigated in your preliminary inquiry is an informal method by which you can call them, request them, ask them some questions. You can't arrest them. You can't take them for custodial interrogation. You can't raid their premises. And what has happened in these 365 days plus the last 2 days? You give to any culprit such a long time, he will destroy every piece of evidence which will lead to his. Therefore, having a veneer of bravado, but a real sense of helplessness, and then going so slow legally that you don't register a case, you don't search a premises. Why these Indian agents should not have been taken into custody and put in for custodial interrogation? In 3 days you could have charged them. You mentioned that you received in March 2012 an email from the United States or somewhere. Media reports that one Edmond Allen wrote to you. The CBI is inquiring, and he says he sends you documents from the Defense Ministry's files. That's what media has reported. The CBI is inquiring, how did those documents get leaked out? You have to inquire at that stage in March 2012, who are these people who have got this 370 or 400 crores as a kickback or as a bribe? So you keep waiting till the Italian courts decide. You be at the mercy of those people. They have done their job by arresting the bribe giver. You have to do your job by arresting the bribe taker. Yes. And here, for the last 3 decades, sir, we have a policy, no middlemen. Unlike United States, we don't have a law relating to lobbyists. We have no registration of lobbyists. There is no code of conduct, the do's and don'ts that they will have. And in India, the dividing line between lobbying, middlemen and bribery is almost obliterated. It's very thin, it doesn't exist. And yet for 3 decades, you have a no middleman policy. You may have registered a dozen cases, as you said, to the CBI, but have we made a breakthrough in a single case? And therefore, to make sure that this case doesn't go that way, what appears from your reply is that you have already wasted 367 days. Take people into custody, register a case. Once you have a charge sheet ready, ask for extradition. The Italians may not oblige you by handing their citizens over. You have to send a letterogatory to them. You can't send a formal letterogatory, even under Indian law, till you have a case under investigation. A preliminary inquiry is not a case under investigation. And this entire facade of JPC you are now creating, what did the Bofors JPC do? Your eventual FIR and your charge sheet didn't tally with that. The JPC said, these are only winding up charges. Are you willing to have a JPC headed by an opposition member? If you want to know the truth, please answer the question, have a JPC headed by an opposition member. So we'll know where the shoe pinches. And a JPC itself will not find out. what is it we need in this transaction? Everything is known, the name and the identity of the bribe taker has to be revealed. How can members of parliament sitting in a committee give you the name of a bribe taker? It is only an investigation, interrogation, arrest, letterogatory through a coercive criminal process which can find out the name of the bribe taker. And unless you resort to those processes, you will never get the name. You can put us on another diversion and say, ask members of parliament to find out the name of a bribe taker. Well, if you do go on that course, at least my suspicion will be further strengthened that you don't want to know the name of the bribe taker.